thought, "Well, I have begun this new year happily." He continued his journey further on. Meanwhile, the boy ran inside screaming, "I have my gifts!" He excitedly showed his family the wonderful gifts. The pheasant's feather. Janice asked her father to help her make a Christmas gift for her mother. "Why don't we make a collage of things like pine cones, seeds, acorns, feathers, and leaves? You know how much your mother loves nature. I have a box full of these." He emptied the box, which had acorns, pine cones, and seeds. "What's that?" Janice asked, pointing to a few long, brownish red feathers. Her father remembered. "It is of a pheasant whom I had freed. It was all caught up in some netting. I cut the netting off. I'll never forget the look in that bird's eyes when it felt the string being taken off. It flew into the air. I felt happy because I'd saved its life." Janice's father had tears in his eyes. Lucky pheasant. "Can I have one of them to keep?" That night her father saw the pheasant's feather lying on Janice's pillow next to her face. The Christmas rose. Everybody was coming to see his new savior. Each of them bought him all kinds of gifts. A shepherdess, being poor, had nothing to offer to the child. She started weeping. Earlier, she had searched for flowers but found nothing in the snow. An angel was watching over her and knew about her unsuccessful search. He took pity on her. He decided to help her with a little miracle. He gently brushed aside the snow at her feet and where her tears had fallen, produced a beautiful cluster of waxen white winter roses with pink tipped petals. Then he softly whispered into the shepherdess' ear that the Christmas roses were far more valuable than any gift, for they were pure and made of love. The shepherdess joyfully gathered the flowers and offered them to the Holy Infant. Thus, the Christmas rose came to be a symbol of hope, love, and all that is wonderful in this season. God's surprise. Once there was a family which was so poor that they could not afford a Christmas tree. They decorated a dead branch with the pieces of paper tied with string. The children asked Mom and Dad about what presents they might get under their tree. But there was no presents. Mom told the children, "Ask God to send us what He wants us to have." And they did pray. On Christmas Eve, the children watched for visitors, but none came. Then, late night, someone came with bags. It was the church priest. He had not been able to get the poor family off his mind. Later, He went around town asking for contributions to the poor family. He filled his car with bags of groceries and gifts and gave them to the poor family. The family was very happy. God had heard their prayers. The priest had been sent by God. The two brothers. Once, two brothers were excited to see what gifts were there under the Christmas tree. They got the opportunity when their parents went out of the house. They planned to open all the gifts and then rewrap them before their return. They made a pact never to tell a soul. The plan was set in motion when the parents left the house. They opened the gifts, saw them, and then returned each to its chosen box and carefully rewrapped every item. They were very happy with their adventure. However, when Christmas morning arrived, they gathered around the tree and began opening the gifts, trying to act surprised. But after the parents had gone to sleep, one brother said, "Though we fooled Mom and Dad, yet the occasion was not so exciting as it would have been if we had not seen the Christmas gifts." His brother sighed and nodded his head in agreement.
Thanks for watching. Do like, share, subscribe to Sahil Book House.